Upon seeing the presentation I made concerning Christians keeping the law, some of you may be asking, okay, do you mean that only Seventh-day Adventists shall be saved? Of course not. The Bible says, to him who knows to do good but does it not, to him it's a sin. There are plenty of people who profess to be SDAs. They say, the law must be kept, yet they do not keep the law themselves. So I don't know if I'm among them, but I won't stop trying to be saved. You see, I also don't know if I'll go to heaven or not. But there's this one thing, people who pass the exams, not everyone knew that they shall make it. But instead, they did not stop trying. So they continued trying, until they realized that they passed. So that applies to you as well. So plenty of people profess to be SDAs, yet they do not live by the Adventist doctrine. Then as for those who do not know that the law must be kept, those who were not told, those who completely have no idea about the law of God, the Bible says, to him who knows to do good but does it not, to him is a sin. So if I'm a Sunday worshiper, if I go to church on Sunday, if I had no idea about the Sabbath day, and then I break it, God will not consider me to be, let's say, God will not say I have broken the law. Why? Because I had no idea about it. Come to think of it, we sin plenty of times, more than we imagine. Now imagine on Judgment Day, God is telling you that you did this, you did that, and then you're surprised that, oh, I never knew that was a sin. And then God tells you, no, this as well will be included in the judgment. So it means almost everyone will not be saved. So God will judge you based on what you know is good and bad. He will not take you and punish you for things you never knew. So judgment begins when you know the right thing, when you know the difference between good and evil, when you know that, okay, this is supposed to be done, this is not supposed to be done. But concerning the law of God, if you know about the law, if you know about the Sabbath day, that the Sabbath must be kept, yet you're not keeping it, or yet I'm not keeping it, when judgment day comes, I shall be held accountable for not keeping the law. Why? I had knowledge between good and evil. In fact, the Bible says it is better that they had not known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, they decide to depart from the law of God, the commandments of God. So it is better I had no idea about the commandments, because God would say, he never knew. Such an innocent child, you may enter in, even though you broke the law, but you never knew. But I know the law completely. I've heard of it, and I decide not to keep it. So the God will not consider me to be innocent. So that's just like, imagine getting a street kid, for example. Let's say we get a pupil and a street kid. We give them both tests. Then they both fail. Can we blame the street kid for failing? Of course not. But we can blame the pupil for failing. Why? Because he had been given the opportunity to learn. He was taken to school. School fees were paid. Teachers, classes, and everything. So the same applies with the law. When you have knowledge between good and evil, when you know that I'm not supposed to be doing this and I'm supposed to be doing this, God will judge you based on what you knew, that this, okay, you knew that, okay, this was wrong and this was right. So he will not judge you based on what you never knew. But that doesn't mean you must stop studying the Bible to see God's requirements.